morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Friday, December 5th. Ooh, sixth of the way through the month already. Is that how that math works out? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Man, oh man, what a week has it been? I feel, I feel, I feel alive, but I feel dead, right? I think we've all, it's that time of year. December has a way of turning this will be fun into how am I still awake in record time? So, today we're going to talk about making spirits bright with the heat press, right? That's what we're going to do today. Now, if it's your first time here, long time here, and you know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather is like in your area, it's cold. We are not getting above freezing in the foreseeable future, which means as traffic goes around town throughout the day, they roll over ice, it melts, and then it freezes, and then we have a solid sheet of ice. So that's always fun. As far as what's in the cup today, we got the sparkling fruit punch edition cosmic vibe. That's what we got in the cup. Not too bad this morning. And then I need your five things. What are five things that you are going to accomplish today? I've got about 50 things, but I've got meetings this afternoon with Stalls, Caesar, and Gangify, so that my afternoon is booked up. We've got orders that need to be picked and pulled, and then we have a meeting with the design team, the development team for Wizard. We got that here this morning. So busy, busy day all the way around for us here because we did launch, the Wizard subscription service this week. I'm hearing great things. I'm hearing people pissed off. I'll take it all in. But we said it was coming, and this is what it's doing, and this is how we're working it. So no reason to cry over spilled milk, and we can work through all those problems together. So first off, let's check in with everybody and see how they're doing. Keith, good morning to you. Keith, look, did everything get taken care of with that license? I think I saw something come through where they were like good to go with it, but just double checking for you. Tasha, good morning to you. Anderson, what is that? Or Barbara? Denise, there it is. Denise, good morning to you. Barb, good morning. North Central Minnesota, 21 and cloudy. Hot tea in the cup, five things. Logo stitch test, set up next embroidery run, DTF, 3D printing, and invoicing. A very busy day there for Barb. Hello, Denise, to everybody in the chat. Adrian, good morning to you. Rustling, good morning. Apple juice in the cup, tons to do today, never a dull moment. I don't know the last time I had apple juice, just like regular apple juice. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you from sunny 70 in Central Florida. I think it's only like 6 here, Chuck. Let me do a quick gander and see what we have because I know it was cold taking the kids to school. Feels like 7 outside. That's what we got. Feels like 7. Hey, Barb from Linda, and hey, Linda from Barb, and good morning from Texas from Randy and Danny. Good morning. And Sandy, thanks for checking in. Good morning. 10 degrees there. Coffee in the cup. Embroidery. Update my website. Sublimate cups. Engrave some tumblers. Ship some orders. Sandy's got a busy day there. Linda's got 43 there in Central Texas, so it's cold for her. Iced tea in the cup. Five things: 3D print, edit photos, post photos online, press soccer uniforms, delivery. Busy, busy day. Cold, cold, cold here in Illinois. Where are you at there? And then you don't have to like give me an exact place if you don't want to. We're in the Quad Cities, so we're northwestern Illinois, and it is cold, cold, cold. You're in Uniontown, Alabama. Very nice. Right? It should have stayed in Florida. You're 100% right. Finish work and go home. And Randy's coffee in the cup 35 here. Now we've got set up for a craft show starting at 12 for Saturday nights. And ooh, I love seeing everybody's info that they're putting out there for their shows, like how they have it set up, what they brought, what's selling, what's not selling. What they found out from other vendors talking with them. I love hearing people's videos and recaps on that. So feel free, Randy, to post it up over in the group so we can see what's there. Ooh, look at that. Chuck says 3D printing accessories for the P1S. We have the P2 coming, so it'll be here. I don't even know when it'll be here. I check on that. We'll check on it tonight. Hudson's pretty excited about that. We're scheduling out time to go through Maker's World so he can start picking out stuff and went there. Yep, we went to a subscription service on it, and we had two options. It was either we are going to a subscription service on it, or we were getting rid of it altogether because it has cost way too much over the last few years, and Yeah, it was the cost was crazy of what it is. So in order to sustain it, we had to come up with two things. Either get rid of our subscription, so subscription. But you sign up this month, there is no upgrade fee, 29.99 a month, and, that's as long as you are in it. As long as you're in it, you always pay 29.99 a month. You sign up this month, you're also getting 29.99 back in design credits or credits because you get digital credits because you can use those on webinars, you can use those on fonts, you can use them on designs, and then I'm also making the commitment to make sure that there is more than enough designs coming out each month that you can use those credits on. So, basically for free, and the credits don't roll over, use it or lose it type thing. Cindy, 16, drinking Black Raz energy drink. Five things. Today's load in for Maid Market Holiday Edition. It's so cold, they're letting us drive our vehicles. And is that down at the Bend? Because there's stuff this weekend and next weekend down at the Bend, right? I think that sounds right. Uh, Jeff, good morning. No drink today. You were probably to drink it. 25 there in Northern Kentucky. No clue what it's like. Haven't looked outside. Five things: 3D print, vinyl print, UV print, finished laser cleanup, sort why my Graph Tech cut lines are not spot on. Ooh, cutting strip. Check the cutting strip. Yes, yes, all is well. Woo, good to hear. Good to hear. Glad we got that taken care of for it. Jeff, morning to Barb, and hi, Jeff and Cindy. Your team does a great job. We try, and like everything here is new, and so we're rolling through it. We're getting some things figured out, and little by little, we're making sure it's out there. Central. We go down to Peoria quite a bit for our son for the Children's Hospital down there, and then we also have a friend shop down in Springfield we head down to. So yeah, you know, something about a little Central Illinois. And Sharon, good morning. Hello from cold Kansas. Coffee in the cup, press hoodies, ship shirts, work on Valentine's designs, and stop about 5 this evening. I love that right there, Sharon. You were putting a stop about, you might go a little over, but putting a firm, hey, I need to stop by this time. Love, love, love that. And look at that. Mary says it's cold, cold, cold there in, in North Carolina, right? 35 degrees. That would be if it was 35 at 8:30 in the morning here. I would love that. That'd be great right now. Jamie, good morning. Pick and pull orders, create designs and get approvals, print photo enlargements, print and press DTF transfers, machine maintenance. Jamie's got a busy day. Oh, it's all on perf cut. Not so Jeff, I don't even mess with perf cut. I had so many issues doing perf cut. What I did was my perf cut is just a regular line with my pressure bumped up, so it just barely cuts it out, and then I can just pop them out. So I don't even mess with perf cut, especially because on like corners and inside stuff, I would rather replace cutting strips every, however long, once a month, every 2 weeks, depends on what you're cutting, blades and cutting strips. And then they just pop right out and not have to worry. But and if depending on your graph tech, if you have the channel, you don't even have to worry about you don't even have to worry about that. So that's what we do is just ump the pressure for it. So we're not even messing with that. All right. So what are we talking about today? Talking today, making spirits bright with the heat press, right? Yeah. As makers, we do slide from excited about the season to buried in blanks and juggling messages and shipping deadlines and a heat press that seems to beep, every 5 minutes, beep every 5 seconds in the matter of minutes, right? There's just so much going on in that chaos. It's easy to forget that you are allowed to enjoy this month too. Joy just doesn't magically appear because it's the holidays. Oh, look, it's the day after Thanksgiving, so it's the holidays, so I should be happy. No, you need to build it in your space, and you need to build it into your workflow on purpose. The thing that we forget is that it's not just making products. You know, we're making memories too, right? The shirts that you press get worn in Christmas photos. The mugs that you sublimate show up in cozy morning routines. The ornaments that you create, those end up on trees for years. When you remember that, it feels like less like just another order, and it feels like you are now a part of someone's Christmas story. You know, I've heard makers say that a tiny string of Christmas lights or a silly playlist, completely changed how December feels for them. Even when the workload, had stayed the same. Those small choices and how you work, those make a huge difference in how you feel. So, this episode we're going to talk about, bringing that joy back into the process, just not the final product. Talk about using your designs, your packaging, your environment, and most of all, your mindset to keep your spirits up when you make everyone else's bright. You really do deserve to have a season that you feel good and not just busy all the time. So, number one is let your designs carry your cheer. When your designs, those are your first place where you can inject joy into your business. When you choose artwork that's funny or nostalgic or heartwarming, it really does change how you feel when you're pressing it. A holiday, because just think about this and tell me if I'm wrong. A holiday design that makes you laugh, it's a lot easier to press, at 11:30 at night than one that you're bored looking at. Customers, they respond emotionally to what they see. And that excitement, well, that excitement feeds your momentum too. You know, those designs with personality, those also tend to stand out in the crowd. In I lost my train of thought there. They stand out in the crowd, and when you are doing things, like posting on social media, when you're going to a vendor's event, they really stand out in those because they're different. If everything on your table looks serious, your silly or cozy pieces, those become the one that people remember. You know, Seasonal designs, they don't have to be complicated. They just need to connect. What did I show yesterday? It was cat's litter scoop with poop in it earrings. Some of these people are going wild, right? When you give yourself permission to play a little, that energy, it shows up, in your work, and it really keeps you from slipping into that robot mode during production. Now some examples of this is, a maker created a holiday hot mess express, a line about a chaotic Christmas mornings, and not only did customers love it, but she really looked forward to printing those designs because it made her laugh. Another decorator really leaned into the retro Christmas art, inspired by vintage wrapping paper. And that nostalgia factor reignited their creativity right when it really started to feel burned out. So, action step on this is let's just pick one festive design that makes you smile. And let's just turn it into a little tiny collection, 3 to 5 related products using that same theme. Now, number two, thoughtful packaging equals instant holiday magic. What does that mean? Well, packaging is where you can turn a normal order into a little holiday moment. You don't need fancy boxes. You don't need expensive add-ons. You don't need any of that to really make something feel special. Maybe it's just a bit of seasonal tissue paper, a cute sticker, simple thank you card. You can make that unboxing, feel like a present. Even if that customer just bought it for themselves, right? When that your packaging will make someone smile, grin, laugh, it gives you that small hit of joy every time you seal the box. And thoughtful packaging, well, it also makes your brand more memorable long after that item is opened. People remember how something made them feel, and that holiday season really amplifies that. A small touch can be the difference between, "Oh, that was nice," and, "Man, I cannot wait to order from them again." Now, it doesn't have to slow you down. Once you set it up, it can be simple and repeatable, and it can be just part of your process. So, some examples of this is a maker started using snowflake tissue paper and happy holidays from our small shop stickers. And customers began posting unboxing videos and tagging her without even being asked. Now, another maker, they added, a small printed to from gift tag in each package so buyers could just attach it to the wrapped gifts without even needing one. She noticed a big jump in repeat orders and referrals the following season. So, action step is let's just choose one easy, repeatable upgrade, like themed tissue paper or seasonal sticker or a printed holiday thank you card, and commit to using those on every order you send out the rest of the month. Now, number three. is let's create a festive workflow that really does boost your mood. You know, the way your space feels, it really does have a direct impact on your energy. When your workspace is dark, cluttered, silent except for equipment noises, the day really does feel heavier than it needs to. Adding a few of those intentional touches, better lighting, holiday music, a candle, or even a tiny tree, that can really change the atmosphere completely. You know, you're going to spend a lot of hours in your space this month. So it might as well, feel good to be there. Now, a festive workflow isn't about being aesthetic for social media. It's about supporting your mental state. When your environment signals, nice and cozy and calm instead of, this chaotic stress, your brain that handles long days better. You won't fix shipping delays or it won't fix shipping delays or demanding customers, but it will help you feel a lot less drained by them. You are 1,000,000% allowed to create a space that feels like yours, not just a production zone. So some examples of this is a maker created a 3-hour holiday hustle playlist that they only play during December. And she said that turning it on became her mental switch from feeling overwhelmed to we got this. All right. Another one, they just put a small pre-lit tree and warm fairy lights near a press. And she noticed every time that she was tired, she looked at it and it just felt comforting instead of stressful. So for this action step, let's just add one sensory upgrade to your workspace, whether that's music, lighting, scent, or some holiday decor that really makes your production time feel more like a cozy ritual than a grind. Now, before we get back into 4 and 5, let's see what else we have there. Uh, right, trade you the 35 for the 8 in Illinois. I'm 100% on that. I've tried that and just haven't succeeded. You just got to try harder, Jeff. You just got to try harder. And Cindy says, yes, I'm at the Bend both weekends. QC Toy Show FrightCon is next weekend. I'm also at events at 4,500 on Sunday. Oh, events at 4,500 on Sunday, Corey. We might just, yeah, we just might have to roll over there. We just might have to roll over there on Sunday. Uh, George, good morning to you. December playlist. Love it. Right? I mean, like, we just got to. James Z, is that right? We just keep like the holiday music, we get in there for it. Tim, good morning to you. And and Cindy says, my tree cake inspired designs give me so much joy. They have been my top sellers this season. I love seeing the smiles and giggles when people make their purchases. My blow mold is in my booth too. I know. Take pictures, put us on the group. We want to see it all because it is. I love it, and we I don't know between this week and next weekend. There to see it. And Lynn said, my dog just found an open container of 3D prints. He's eating. Love it, love it, love it. Um, I also put a tree cake scented candle in my studio. It makes the workday much better. Yes, 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 it can. All right. Number 4 is let's celebrate those small wins all month long. Now, December moves so fast that if you're really not careful, all you remember is just being exhausted. Your brain is really wired to focus on problems, late orders, tricky customers, mistakes. But that's exactly why you need to intentionally celebrate those wins. Every finished batch, every kind of message, every man that turned out awesome. Those moments, that's fuel. And if you don't pause to notice them, then the month ends up feeling like one long blur of stress. Now, tracking small wins, that doesn't mean pretending that everything is perfect. Just means that you're giving equal screen time to what's going right. When you look back and see progress, it's much easier to keep going on through the tough days. That little bit of perspective that can really stop you from spiraling into, that nothing is working when that's actually not true at all. So some examples of this is a tumbler maker keeps a notebook by her press and writes down one win from each work session. On a hard days, she goes back and she reads through that list and to remind herself that there are great things and that she's moving forward. Another owner, they screenshot every positive review or a nice message from a customer and saves them in a holiday wins folder. So that way, when she starts feeling overwhelmed, she just flips through them, reads, smiles, gets the mojo back. So for this one, this action step pretty simple. Let's just start a December's win list today on paper, in your phone, on your lap, wherever it is. You know, add at least 3 specific wins by the end of today. All right. Number 5 is remember the joy you're creating for others. When you're tired and you're buried in orders, it is easy to forget how much your work actually matters to people. You can see a stack of hoodies. They they see matching outfits, right? You see just another ornament. They see a yearly tradition of a way to honor someone they love. Reconnecting with that impact really shifts the story from I'm just drowning in work. I don't know if I can do this to man, I am part of something meaningful and I can't wait to do it again. That mind shift change, that doesn't remove the workload, but it does make it more worth carrying. Remembering the joy you're creating also helps on the days when money or the numbers just don't feel like enough. Emotional impact, it doesn't just show up in your tracking sheet. There, that doesn't make sense. Emotional tracking just doesn't. I had just in there. Doesn't show up in your tracking sheets, but it's often the thing that really keeps makers going year after year after year. When you can picture where your items are headed and what they're going to be when they're opened, it is way easier to push through one more batch or one more press. So, a maker received a photo of a family and matching holiday tees that they created. And she said that one image carried her through the rest of the week when she thought she was ready to quit. Another one made personalized ornaments for a family member, for a family who had lost someone. And their heartfelt thank you message became the reminder, she revisited every time that she questioned whether her work mattered. So for this, you know, um, just pick one favorite customer photo, a review, or a message, and just put it somewhere where you can see it every day, above your press, on your wall, your film background. All right. So to recap, let's tie this all together with a nice little bow. You know, your designs, they can carry the cheer and they lift your energy, not just your sales. Thoughtful packaging creates holiday magic and makes your customers remember you. A festive workflow supports your mood, so long days feel way less heavy. Celebrating small wins keeps burnout away and reminds you that you are making progress. And 5, remembering the joy that you create for others puts purpose back into everything that you press. So you're just not cranking out orders, you are creating memories. And you deserve to feel the same sort of joy that others do when they open your stuff. So with that, that's what we got for you wrapping up today. Uh, Monday. Monday, I'm not sure if we're going to do a show. I need to see a time because I think we have an appointment at a school and there, but either Monday or Wednesday. Next one we're going to do is going to be the 12 days of Maker's Madness because why not, right? Because it can get so busy this month gets so busy that the fun can really get sucked out of it if we're not careful. So that's what we're going to talk about there. Questions, comments, concerns. Let me know what you have in there. Let's see. Let's see. I want to see the Christmas tree. Yes, Cindy's going to post them. Lexi, good morning. And go get your free thumbs up hit on the video. That's right. And novelties, right? A happy holidays. I had a 5.0 for a while now. Our company is going into cheer world to expand. I tried getting the popular rhinestone blast scatter effect, but no luck. We can do it pretty easy in 5. Yeah, we can. And in fact, I think on the YouTube list video, I think there are a good handful of videos on how to do that scatter effect. So take a check at it and see. Win list and motivation equals sales. That is right. Motivation equals sales. Okay. With that, we're going to wrap up today because we've got stuff going on. We've got our mentorship call starting here in 33 minutes, so we're going to go over there and get into that. And like I said, we'll either be back Monday or Wednesday. I'll find out here today and then pay attention to the groups and things like that. We'll get it there. So, with that, everybody have an amazing day. And you know what? If we're able to swing it and get over to the Bend, I'll make sure to get pictures of Cindy set up. So you guys have a great day. Have an amazing weekend. Get after things today. And until next time, peace, love, press on, and we will see you then.